Hello, online crew. If you have a fear of judgment on social media or a lot of overwhelm going on, or you're wasting a lot of time because of these things, this video is for you. I talk to a lot of people in the industry that are dealing with all of these things, and even these things come into play in my world at various times. You never really get rid of sometimes the fear of judgment, overthinking, overwhelm. And I think all of us at one point or another can be found guilty of wasting a lot of time. Would you agree? Because you are overthinking, or because you're procrastinating on something, or what you should post, or something you should be doing and you should be doing, but you're not doing because you're worried about it, or there's some fear behind it, those kind of things. So if any of that is relatable to you, this is the live video for you. So generally what I do every week is I go live publicly a couple of times of the week, and today is the first video of the week, and I generally talk about something to do with personal development, personal growth, something to help you be a better version of yourself. And the reason for that is you're the only one that can build your business. Like, you might have uplines, sidelines, people that you work with that can support you, mentor you, help you, but even they can't build your business for you. It comes down to you. It's your business, how you show up, the content you put out there, the conversations that you have, it's all up to you. But if there's a lot going on up here which holds you back, then you're literally stalling your business. So we want to create a high level of awareness around these kind of things so you can break through them. Sometimes you just need a little bit of tough love every now and again to hear these kind of things, to realize, okay, I'm the only one that can change this. Like Mel Robbins often says, no one is coming to save you. No one's coming to build your business for you. No one's coming to make it easier for you. It is totally up to you to build your business. So we need awareness around things like, okay, am I worried about what people are going to think about me? Like, am I worried about that judgment? Am I in major overthinking mode? And I'm thinking about my business all the time, but I'm not really posting much. I'm not really putting anything on my feed. I'm not doing any lives. I'm not doing any reels. I'm not putting much in my stories. Like, if that's you, we've got to stop that, because those things just lead to just wasting a hell of a lot of time. Would you agree? If you agree, just put agree down below. So the first thing we want to tackle, the fear of judgment. The fear of judgment, what's important to know about this is that's not actually about other people. That's actually about your self-worth, your self-trust. It's all about fear. It's not actually about other people's opinions. It's about your concerns, your worries. It's all internal. It's not actually external. So firstly, realize it for what it is, okay? Fear of judgment is not about other people. It's not external. It's all about you. It's just fear of what people are going to say about you or think about you, or, judge you in certain ways. So first things first, it's an internal thing. It's not actually an external thing about what other people are saying about you. It's just fears, okay? So it's important to understand there's work that you need to do if that's your problem. Like, if you've got fear of judgment, then what is it within you that you're not backing yourself? Why don't you trust yourself? Why aren't you confident in what you're talking about? What work do you need to do on you to build that confidence, to not worry about what other people think? Because when you're confident about the business that you're in, the people that you help, what you help them with, the solution that you've got, when you back yourself and you've got trust in yourself that you can do all of those things, you won't care what other people think, because you just be true to you. So what is it about your self-truth, your self-trust, your confidence that you need to work on? So if you've got a fear of judgment, there's something that you need to work on internally. Okay, that's the first thing that you need to realize. Is it belief? Is it confidence? Do you need some build some skills that you don't have yet? Etc. The other thing about fear of judgment is you're wasting a lot of time worrying about that, because no one really cares about you as much as you think they do. So you waste all this time worrying about what people are going to think about you, and no one's really thinking about you that much. Because while you're thinking about you, everybody's thinking about themselves. So somebody might look at a piece of content on you and have a thought about it for like 5 seconds, and then they've already moved on with their life regarding what they're worried about what people are thinking about them. Like, I promise you, no one is thinking about your content or you that much for you to worry about. Does that make sense? So stop worrying or holding yourself back or having a fear about what other people think, because they're not actually prioritizing you that much in their brain. Everyone's self-absorbed. So while you're worrying about what people are thinking about you, that person is thinking about what people are thinking about them. They're not actually wasting all their energy worrying about you. So why waste your energy worrying about what other people think when they're not actually wasting that much energy thinking that much about you? No one's actually thinking about you that much. I hope that makes sense. The way you come over fear of judgment is to build your confidence and belief, like the inner work, obviously. But the only way you're going to build that belief and confidence is by being consistent. So this is where the overthinking comes in. So if you're a massive overthinker and you hold yourself back, that's just sending you backwards. So the only thing that's going to sort of lose the fear of judgment after you've done that internal work is by showing up consistently and proving to yourself that you can do it. But also, that's when people start listening. And when people start listening, the fear of judgment goes away anyway. Because on social media, there's always going to be people that have got something to say. You'll never 100% keep everybody happy or have everybody reaching out to what it is that you have. It's no different to anybody walking into a retail store. So you walk into stores all the time, right? You walk in, you open the door, you have a look around. You think about it, you browse. Maybe not today. Maybe I don't have the money today, or no, I'm just not quite sure. And you walk out the door again. That's life. No one goes to water. Like, the shop assistants doesn't go to water because you didn't buy anything. It's just people browsing. And people are doing that with you all the time on social media. Even if you're having a good conversation and you've given them information and they seem quite interested, but then they don't buy. Give them time. Don't overthink those things. Don't judge it that, they've ghosted you or whatever. Like, people need time. People actually need multiple exposures before they make up their mind. It's not judgment of you. It's just be consistent with your message, who you help and what you help them with. And that will get stronger and stronger and stronger. And you'll build that confidence that you need to get rid of the fear of judgment. Am I making sense? Okay. Hope that makes sense. Just put yes down below if I'm making sense so far. Okay. So the fear of judgment, remember, it's not about other people. That's all about you. And again, no one's thinking about you that much. So let's also, I'll just add there, if you have a fear of judgment, here's one way to work around it as well. When you share instead of telling people, like, you might show up on social media and I've got 5 tips that you can lose weight in 10 minutes or less a day, and you don't have to be a slave to the gym. Like, you're coming across as some kind of expert. When you come across in that some way, yes, maybe some people will think, well, who are they to share that information? When you share whatever it is that you want to share rather than tell and dictate, people perceive you differently. You take them on a journey with you. So just remember, share, don't tell. So share your journey, share other people's journey, suggest, say this, this is where I was, this is something that I tried, it really worked for me. Maybe it might work for you too. If you would like some more information, just drop the word XYZ for some information. So share what you're what your the information that you want to share. Don't come across as dictating or telling. Dictating and telling will attract judgment potentially. Sharing a journey, sharing a story, recommending something. So you're not talking at people, you're having a conversation with people, that can let go of judgment as well. Okay, so I hope that helps. The second thing, overwhelm. Overwhelm is a whole lot of thinking and not enough doing. Who's guilty of that? Put guilty in the comments if you are guilty of that, because that's what overwhelm is. It's a total lack of action. You don't get overwhelmed by doing too much. Well, you can in some ways, but the majority of people in this industry, when they're overwhelmed, they're thinking about what they should do. They're thinking about the posts that they should put out there. They're thinking about how to brand themselves. They're thinking of what to post. They're thinking of what to put in their story. They're doing a whole lot of thinking, but there's not enough action going on. Okay? Overwhelm is just a state of mind, and it's just a clear indicator that you're not focusing on anything in particular. Maybe you've got too many choices. So you've got all these things running through your head that you could be doing, should be doing, might want to do, could do, not sure if you should do. So there's a whole lot of options out there, but you're not actually doing anything. Like you're not posting like you should do. You're not showing up like you should do. So do yourself a favor and minimize the options and start prioritizing. What's one thing that you can do today that you didn't do yesterday that could help you in your business today? Have you all posted today? Have you posted a story today? Have you created a conversation with anyone today? Just with ICQ, intention, complement, question, if you know my strategy around that. Not to sell them anything, not to get them in your business, but just to start a nice human conversation, like you're creating human connection. Have you done that today? So if you are in a constant state of overwhelm, let's strip it back. Get rid of all the options that you've got. Get rid of all the thinking that you're doing about what you should do, and just do something. Have a DMO that works for you. Now, there could be two things on that DMO. And by DMO, if you don't know what that means, it means daily method of operation. Okay, so what's your daily method of operation? Quite clearly, if you've listened to me for any length of time, it should be content, conversations, and conversions. So have you put a piece of content out today? Yesterday? Do it tomorrow, depending what time of day it is for you. Have you struck up any conversations today? If your content creates the conversations, lucky for you. Awesome. But if your content is not creating the conversations, you need to go and create more conversations if you want to be serious about building a business online. It doesn't happen overnight. Don't take attraction marketing too far and think, I'll just post and everybody will come. It doesn't work that way. Even when I get leads, I'm nurturing the conversation. I'm asking people questions. I'm taking time. Okay, so content, conversations, and then conversion, because that's a skill level. Okay. I was just saying to my VIP students that we just finished a VIP mentorship call. I'm converting 99% of my sales at the moment with customers. And just to let you know, I mean, if you haven't heard this before, like I'm the number one enroller in my company in all of Australia and New Zealand for November, December, January. And I'm tracking quite well for February so far. But I'm converting that. I'm not sending anybody to a Facebook group. I'm not providing any PDFs. I'm not providing any YouTube videos or anything like that. I'm having a proper conversation. And I'm not saying I'm jumping on Zoom calls or anything like that. I'm just mainly doing it in Messenger. But I'm converting 99% of the time through being a human before a marketer. Okay, it's possible, but you've got to practice it. And you can't do that unless you got leads. So just take a step back. What is it that you actually need to do? If you need leads because you're not talking to anybody about your business, like let's face it, if you don't have leads, you're not growing your business. So, okay, I don't have any leads. So then the first thing that you would want to start on is content and conversations. So if your content creates the conversations, amazing. If your content is just creating a level of awareness and consistency at the moment, people are learning to trust you, that you're not fly by the seat of your pants, that you are actually talking about this same thing over and over again. So they're learning to trust you, then you need to initiate the conversations. Okay. Just be real about that. Okay. So overwhelm. Clarity comes from action, not from thinking about it. You're not going to get clarity in your messaging, in your branding, in your content, in what people like to hear from you, how people engage with you. You're not going to get any of that without the action. So stop thinking and start doing. That's the only way to eliminate overwhelm. Okay. So maybe for you, that might be one platform, not three. And it might be a really small daily method of operation, which is one piece of content and you strike up 3 new conversations. Not about your product or business, you're just creating human connection. That might be your DMO. Whatever it is, do something. Because if you do a lot of thinking and you do nothing, that's what creates overwhelm, which leads us to our third thing that I'm talking about today, is that is a complete waste of time. To sit in your own head and overthink about what you should be doing, what you want. You know you want more money in your bank account. You know you want to build a business. You know what you want, but you're actually not doing anything towards that. That is a complete waste of time. Okay? And you don't want to do that. We only live once. You want to make your time worth it. Your time is very valuable. So if you waste your time with a fear of judgment, or sitting in overwhelm, not taking any action, you are just simply watching the clock tick away, and you're wasting valuable time. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Okay, so this is where you need to stop being busy and start being productive. If you're wasting time, strip it back. What do I need to do? I'm busy. I've got to do this, and this. So it's okay. Okay, I'm overwhelmed. I want to do all the things. I don't have time to do all the things. What should I do? Okay, Helen suggested that I do a piece of content and maybe strike up 3 conversations a day. That's your simple DMO. Like, what is it that you can do to stop thinking and wasting time and start doing? You will not get any clarity in your business or your content or your connections or your leads unless you take that kind of action. Okay. So we want you being productive and focused, not wasting energy and stressing out and overwhelming, because days will turn into weeks, weeks will turn into months, months will turn into years. And who wants that? Like, nobody wants that. And once you start taking more action and you're getting more feedback, you're getting more engagement. Oh, people like this kind of content. You can't get that kind of feedback and that kind of validation unless you're doing the do. And am I making sense? Is this hitting home for anybody? What I want to kind of wrap this all up with in a bow is the massive difference between discipline versus motivation. Majority of people are waiting to feel like creating content, feel like doing a live video, feel like creating a reel, feel like having a conversation. Man, if I built my business on just feelings alone, I would never get anything done. I have the discipline, even when I don't feel like it, to follow up with my leads. I have the discipline to post, even when I don't feel like posting. At the moment, like, you got no idea what's going on in my world at the moment. It's tough, for various reasons, which I won't go into. But I'm repurposing a lot of my content at the moment because it's all I've got the capacity to do. You could do that too, as long as you've done the content before. And nobody remembers what you posted 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So if you've been on social media for any length of time, just go back and repost. Something I'm also doing is I'm going back to older videos using the same content, but just re-recording it today, tomorrow, the next day. So talking reels that I've done, content that I've already created. I've looked back, said saw what's done reasonably well. I got some leads from. I'm using the exact same content. I'm just putting a slightly different hook on it and I'm re-recording it, but I've already done the content before. Does that make sense? Like, there are ways to show up and be consistent even when life is against you, you got little time or whatever. Like, implement these kind of strategies to make sure you show up. Because at the end of the day, you don't have a business if you don't have any leads. And how do we attract leads? Content and conversations. I'll say it again. If your content creates the conversations and attracts the leads, amazing. But if your content is just you're building a following, you're building trust, you're building awareness, you're building consistency, then maybe the leads and the conversations aren't happening a lot at the moment. So it's your responsibility to recognize, okay, I need to proactively do more of ICQ, which is intention, complement, question. So you go to social media with intention, you find some people to give them a compliment because not enough people do. And then you ask them a question and you start building a human connection. Your next customer and your next team member are coming from a human conversation. Automation is amazing. It has its place, but automation is really for people that can't handle their leads. If you've got no following, well, a small following, and you don't really have a reputation, like you don't have people hanging off your every word, your focus isn't automation. It's building connection. It's building an audience. It's attracting leads through the content that you create. You have to build trust in 2026. Trust is the new currency on social media. It's not like, even a couple of years ago, a lot of automation, people would just opt into things and buy things. We are not in that world anymore. You got to build trust first. So how do you need to show up a little bit more to build that trust? Okay. So back to discipline over motivation. Don't rely on motivation to create your content, to show up, to post every day, to have conversations. Motivation is fleeting. And more often than not, you won't be motivated to do the things you need to do to build a business of this kind. You do need discipline, however, even when you don't feel like it. So what's your bottom line DMO? Piece of content, 3 new conversations a day. That might be it. That might be all the capacity that you have. But if you do that every day, and if you've got a really small following, I would recommend, if you say building on Facebook, 3 new friend requests a day. Just 3. You could do that. You can prioritize that. But 3 a day, every day, 7 days a week, over months, now you're building an audience that you didn't have before. But if you're not doing any of that, it's not being amazing for 3 weeks and then falling off the wagon for 6 months. It's the small things that you do every day. Okay? So wrapping up, fear of judgment isn't actually about other people. It's all about you, and it's about your fears. So what internal work do you need to do to back yourself, build your confidence, build your belief, and show up with discipline a little bit more, because that's what's going to build your confidence and belief, and you'll let go of what other people think, because you'll start attracting the right people that start engaging with you. Okay. Overwhelm, the only way you're going to eliminate it is by doing the do. Stop thinking and start doing. Even if it's messy, even if it's scary, you've got to have the discipline to do the do. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in your own head, and you're not only wasting days, but you're wasting weeks, you're wasting months, you could even be wasting years. And nobody wants to waste that amount of time. I know I don't. What about you? So there are days that I force myself to create content, and I force myself to follow up with my leads, and I force myself to do things, but I don't spend all day doing that. I just okay, the next hour, I've got to follow up with these leads. I've just got to create a piece of content. I've got to put a story out there. I've just got to get it done. And then you let it go for the rest of the day. Just put the discipline in for a very small amount of time, get done what you need to do, and then let it go and get on with the rest of your day and what you need to do. But the magic of this business and the momentum that you can create is in the small things that you do every day. Okay? So all of what I've just spoken about is how you're going to get rid of the judgment, how you eliminate overwhelm, and how you can stop wasting time. But all of that starts with your self-acknowledgement and your responsibility around that. You can't fix anything that you're not aware of. And that's why I'll always keep talking about these kind of topics in my live videos, because people are still doing the same bad habits they did last year and the year before and the year before, because there's no acknowledgement or awareness that you're stuck. So awareness is the first piece. And if you're stuck with any of these things that I've just explained, do something about it. Stop thinking about it. Okay? I hope that helps. I hope someone listening to this live video needed some tough love around that. But it's not just listening and agreeing. It's actually going doing something about it and actually setting that discipline to actually do the do. Okay? Your freedom is in taking messy action and doing the do. Clarity will come from that. Okay? Sarah, procrastinator. You wouldn't be alone there, Sarah. There's procrastinators everywhere. I still procrastinate, but when I procrastinate and I sit in overwhelm, I just regroup and it's like, okay, we got to sit down, we got to clear the water, we got to write a to-do list and start prioritizing to make sure I'm doing the do. So that's what I would recommend. You just got to sit with yourself for half an hour or an hour, piece of paper. Okay, what are all the things I've got to do? What are all the things that I want to do? Write them down with a pen and a piece of paper, not even your computer. Your thoughts, a pen, piece of paper, write it down, and then start prioritizing. It's like, okay, just what are my 3 top things for tomorrow? I'm just going to get them done. A piece of content, 3 conversations. I'm going to friend request 3 people or follow 3 people on Instagram, whatever platform that you're on. And I'm going to follow up with some people. Just simplify things and get it done. That's where your freedom is. Sarah, I'm going to do that now. Awesome. Love your work. Okay. So hitting home. Okay. Thanks, Jody. I agree. From Mike. So true. Automation has its place, but human connection and trust is needed first. Absolutely, Jody. You need it. You nailed that. Very helpful, Helen. Thank you. Okay. So coaching community members, not tomorrow, but the next day, we've got practical reels training part 3. So hopefully you've caught part 1 and 2 because I gave you some cool training. And, if you're not using edits yet to create reels, you absolutely should be. So watch Practical Reels Training part 1 for all of that. And last week I shared with you guys some really cool features for reels that you can create. But this week I'm doing Practical Reels Training part 3. So make sure you join me for that. And then later in the week, I'm talking about, so not tomorrow, the next day after the coaching community training, what I'm going to talk about with you guys is what should you focus on, customers or team members? It's an interesting question. So I'm going to have a discussion around that. You might be interested to hear what I have to say around that. So I'll see you live, not tomorrow, but the next day. And I hope this video was helpful for some of you. Bye.